Let's talk about a word that stirs up a lot of curiosity and even more debate: promiscuity. You've probably heard it before, maybe whispered with a raised eyebrow or tossed around in movies and pop culture. But what does it really mean? Promiscuity is a term used to describe having multiple sexual partners, often without long-term commitment. But here's the thing. What's considered promiscuous changes wildly depending on where you live, the culture you grew up in, and even the time period you're talking about. In some places, having more than a couple of partners is seen as wild. In others, it barely raises an eyebrow. So why do people become promiscuous? There's no single answer, but let's break it down. First, our biology. Humans aren't naturally wired for just one way of loving. Evolutionary scientists say that, for some, having multiple partners increased chances of passing on genes. Then, there's psychology. Sometimes people seek out many partners because of past experiences, search for connection, or even to boost their self-esteem. And of course, society plays a huge role. What's trendy, what's taboo, and what feels rebellious? Now let's rewind and look at the history. In ancient times, norms around sex were very different. Take ancient Greece. Sex outside of marriage was way more common and not as judged, at least for men. Take ancient Rome. Sex outside of marriage was way more common and not as judged, at least for men. Fast forward to the Victorian era in England, and suddenly, strict rules and moral codes came into play. In the 1960s, with the sexual revolution, the taboo broke down again, at least in some parts of the world. But here's what's super important. The meaning of promiscuity is shaped by culture, history, and personal values. What's too much for one person might be totally normal for another. And despite what movies or gossip might say, it's not just about numbers. It's about choices, freedom, and sometimes simply the human need to connect. So next time you hear the word, don't just think of the stereotype. Think of the bigger picture, the history, the causes, and the context. Because understanding isn't about judging, it's about curiosity. If you found this interesting, hit subscribe for more videos that dive deep into words and ideas you thought you already knew.